YouTube? It's your boy RushMoreRick. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are reacting to Black Fatigue. It's a Thai boogie video. Not really sure what Black Fatigue is. I'm guessing it's like sometimes it said like you tired of people doing ghetto shit, essentially. Shit, me too. I might agree with this, but we're gonna tap in and see what he talking about.
The Bonnet Crew walk in. Loud, obnoxious, the kids are everywhere.
Black Fatigue. This video might make you uncomfortable, but it needs to be made.
Black fatigue is real. I think society.
We got a white woman speaking on a business? That's crazy, gang.
As a whole is there.
See, you got black people and then you got niggas, all right? It's a big difference. And most black people, we know the difference. It ain't even a conversation we have all had. It ain't like a meeting that we came together and had together. Like, hey, man, all right, so it's the black.
All right, let me pause. So I get what he's saying. Yeah. So if y'all don't know, my viewers, you have black people, you know what I'm saying? Your regular, typical African American. And then you got niggas. Niggas are also African Americans, but they're the side of us that when you go to Walmart, they're in there doing the most. When you go to public places, they're in there doing the most. They're gonna be loud. They're gonna be obnoxious. They're gonna, you know what I'm saying? It's just like they got an irritating aura about them because they don't know how to control themselves in public places, and that shit does get annoying. Yes, I do understand the black fatigue. I get it now. I get it.
Black folk, and there's the niggas. We need to figure out how to get them niggas. All right, we need to get them up out of here. We ain't even had that conversation. We just know it when we see it, because some of us are reformed niggas. See, black folks live a common life, you know, job, kids, dog, you know. We abide by the rules. But then you had the niggas, and that's where you get a lot of your ignorance from. The loudmouths, people that always want to play victim but don't want to fix their own circumstance. Black people are now getting online and they're talking about black fatigue because they are tired of the niggas.
Black fatigue is a thing. Newsflash. White people don't want to live around ratchet black people. And black people don't want to live around ratchet black people.
On my soul, I really don't. I don't, honestly, yeah, I don't want to live around ratchet black people. But honestly, I don't want to live around ratchet people in general. I don't give a fuck if you the purplest of purples. I don't care if you the whitest of whites, the blackest of blacks, the yellows of yellows. I don't care. Sometimes you just get into this thing where you want to live somewhere where you don't gotta... You're not surrounding yourself with dickheads. You don't want to live amongst that because you wake up one day and then it's just like people screaming, yelling, being obnoxious for no reason, banging on the floors, banging on the walls. It's just like when you in those situations, you want to avoid that. You don't really want to be around that. Some people want peace. And with these niggas nowadays moving into these different parts of these different neighborhoods where it's peaceful, they giving all black people a bad rep because these niggas don't know how to be peaceful. They don't know how to chill. That's what it come down to. People don't know how to chill nowadays. You got to know how to chill.
I mean, it's nothing like going to the Walmart on a Sunday morning and then you see the Bonnet Crew walk in. Loud, obnoxious, the kids are everywhere, in every aisle, unattended, and that's anywhere you go, no matter what. They're highly emotional, highly sensitive. You can't say nothing. You can't even smile and hold the door for them because they'll look at you like you're crazy. And always the victim of something. Either you stepped on a shoe, you looked at them wrong, you told them good morning. They're never happy, they're never satisfied. And you wonder why normal, good black people move out of the hood as soon as they start getting successful. I was one of those black people that said, man, if I made some money, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to buy up this buy.
Bullshit. Motherfucker, as soon as I turned 22, 23, I had a chance, an opportunity to go to a whole... I'm from Camden, New Jersey. That's the one of... Depending on who you talk to, I feel like it's the ghetto of the ghetto. You know what I'm saying? It's the hood. It's the trenches. I wasn't out there in the streets for real, but it's just like it's a reason why you don't want to put yourself around people who tweak, because around certain niggas they take shit too far. Like he said, you look at somebody wrong, it's a problem. They want to take shit too far. You got people who just want to just do shit to do shit. They want to be a nuisance to be a nuisance. You you grow up in them type of environments, you can spot the type of people who just on bullshit, and then you just move accordingly. You don't even want to associate yourself. You don't want to be in the same area because you liable to get fucked with, or you liable to see some shit go down that didn't even have to happen. You know what I'm saying? So I do get what he's saying. Like, a lot of successful black people, as soon as they get they money, as soon as they get they, you know what I'm saying, they little change, right? They want to put their, not only themselves, but they want to put their family in better environments where you getting away from the niggas who more times than not cause more bad than good. And I can't blame nobody for that.
Up that, I'm going to support the community. As soon as I got my money, I got the fuck up out of there. Because they don't know how to appreciate good shit. And my suburban kids don't need to be dealing with that bullshit. Crab in a barrel mentality. Never take accountability for nothing. So yeah, black fatigue is a thing. And I'll tell you, a lot of people are fucking tired. They're tired of dealing with these kind of people on a daily basis. I mean, I get anxiety when I walk inside of a mall nowadays. I mean, because you got these YNs running around and they don't respect nothing. So
now, that's a common trend I notice about our well, not our generation, because they not my generation. I don't think my generation got no YNs in it. The YNs is the niggas that's under us. I haven't had any encounters here in Texas with any YNs, but apparently these niggas is doing irreparable damage to the society. You got niggas scared to be outside because they don't want to be targeted. They don't want to be fucked with. We live in a society where it's like people fear, you know what I'm saying? They fear young black people just because they know that these niggas are capable of tweaking at any time. At anything. I don't understand how we got to this point. But then again, I do. Like, in a generation where we have a lot of our youth don't have both parents. And if the parent that they do have is not even a good parent, if we being honest. Some of these people is not even supposed to be having kids. They don't have the right mindset. You got kids having kids, and then this is what happens as a result of that. Y'all niggas is breeding tweakers, and niggas don't want to be around them. You can't be mad at that.
I don't care what anybody says. White America is tired of you, and we are too.
All right, so before you get offended or call him my Uncle Tom or something like that, ask yourself, like, why do black people get some money and their first plan is to get away from black people? Like, why is that? Like, have you ever sat around and asked yourself, like, why is that? And because I personally always think about that, like, dang, it's like our first goal as black people is to go somewhere there's less black people, but then we get mad when other people don't really want to be around a whole bunch of black people. Now, this may be just my accountability trying to like figure it out in my head, because you know you're never offended when you ask yourself a question. It only becomes offensive when you put it on the internet and other people give their opinions on it. But
and even if niggas getting offended, then I guess the shoe fit. If somebody posts online, yo, why can't black people stay together? And then somebody say, well, black people ain't staying together because you got some black people who want to just live peacefully, and there's a lot of niggas who don't want to do that. And if you getting offended, the shoe fucking fit. this size 10 Jordan is yours, nigga. Put that shit on because you feel offended. You one of the niggas that we don't want to live around, because if you don't feel offended, I guarantee a person who, I know I'm a good neighbor. I know I fit into any community because I don't be on bullshit. I would never get offended about somebody who want to change their living situation and live amongst peaceful people. Now, if you just think the definition of peaceful people is a whole community of white people that don't want to be around you, regardless if you nigga or you just regular black, that's on you. You get yourself in them shitty situations, but at the same time, you can't be mad at a person for wanting to live in a better environment where it's just peace, where they ain't got to worry about coming out in the morning and they fucking car is gone, or coming out in the morning and they got a whole bunch of just black people in the way, and now they scared to fucking walk to the car, or etc. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Come on.
You're allowed to question things yourself. You know that, right? You don't have to run with the narratives that everybody else is thinking. Crabs in a bucket mentality. I think the craziest thing about the hood, and the reason why I keep saying the hood, is because I live in Atlanta, Georgia. And here in Atlanta, it's a lot of black excellence. Like, I'm around so many great black people like that are doing great things with their lives. My neighborhood is full of black people. I mean, men that work honest jobs. It's not a ratchet neighborhood neighborhood, so I know that this is not an all black people thing. Like, all black people are not ghetto. All black people are not loud. But when I leave Atlanta and I'm just traveling through a city, I don't see any of my people until I go to the hood. And when I say the hood, I mean the low income areas. So the craziest part about the low income areas, they usually have the lowest rents in the city. And I've always thought about this. Just because the rents are low or there's low income in the area does not mean this has to be a dangerous neighborhood. It can actually be cheap luxury if the people that are in the neighborhoods treated it as such. The only way to do that is for the people in the hood to hold each other accountable for what we're not doing around here. Just because it's cheap around here doesn't mean we have to follow a certain level of culture.
But that would mean you would need some type of, some type of authoritative figures. I'm not old as shit, mind you. I'm 25, but you always hear the things people say about how communities, how they used to be back then. Used to have the elders who, kept everybody in check, who the youth that was coming up, they was reaching out to them. They was putting them on game. They were educating them. It may not have been a school education, but you were educating your race. You were educating your people, uplifting your people. These new generation of old heads ain't fucking with the youth, and the youth ain't fucking with them. So it's kind of like we at a standstill of just nobody's on the same page. So I get what he's saying, where the hood, however you classify it could be a low budget luxury, but the mindset within the people in the community would have to change. But it's nearly impossible because people aren't on the same page. I think that's the problem with black people today. We're never on the same page. Them white niggas always on the same page. They ride for theirs. Mexicans, Asians. Like, it seems like every race but black people are on the same page when push comes to shove. And you never understand it. And I don't believe it's our fault. I believe society did this to us over the years. And I'm not even trying to be a victim. Like he said, black people's problems is not holding each other accountable. I hold my people accountable. These black people, the niggas, be tweaking. But it's at the same time, this all started somewhere.
A character just because this is the cheap side of town. Somebody wants to point the finger at the white man, and by all means, I understand we definitely have been dealt a different hand. But at what point in time do we hold each other accountable? Because Why is there some people that make it out of the hood, they do something great with themselves, but then there's other people that are in the hood that is still pointing the finger saying, yeah, but them. The reason why I'm going through this is because somebody else has control over my circumstance. But somebody in your same circumstance was able to make it out of it. So while we can argue and say, yes, there are system issues, but what needs to be fixed are the cultural issues as well. And that starts with accountability.
They're calling it black fatigue, but what you really mean is I'm tired of loving wounded black people. You can just say that part with your chest. That's what.
I don't think it's about loving wounded black people. I think it's literally what the name of it is, black fatigue. You're tired of black people. You're tired of niggas being niggas. You tired of the niggas around you in these povertized areas not changing for the better. They look around their surroundings and they accept it, and they continue to be the stereotype that people think black people in them areas are. They're not trying to change. These niggas are trying to just stay in a negative light. There's no positivity. So I think it's not about loving wounded black people.
That's what you wanted to say. You're not tired because we're toxic. You're tired because your love had conditions. Yours. You didn't come to heal, you came to curate. You came to save a version of black society that was already fixed, and no one praised you for it. And when we didn't perform your healing fantasy, you called it draining. This archetype always shows up during collapse, the one that confuses proximity with pain and with proof that they're better than it. Right there.
This nigga is spamming. He's spamming big words, and you got to be careful listening to people like this, because if you're not really educated and you don't have that discernment and you don't have that like you got to really lock in and listen to what people say. He's spamming big words that don't mean anything. I'm gonna let him get his shit off, obviously, because we got to watch the video. But it's just like, listen, like really listen to what people say.
They have proof that they're better than it. That's how they see it, right? But you have to understand that you're not above the wound just because you narrate it from a distance. You're just protecting your image in the mirror while the rest of us are still trying to stitch it back together. You didn't transcend us. You abandoned us. Real black love doesn't tap out when it gets loud. It doesn't leave when the wounds resurface. It metabolizes. It listens longer. It doesn't call the hood low vibrational just because it got a better apartment. Love doesn't require perfection. It requires presence. And some of y'all don't have love for us, and that's cool. That's what I'm trying to get it at. It's cool, but I need you to know that the left is something you can get over. You could, right? And if you really tired.
This nigga said us. He's speaking for the hood. Is this your king?
Rest, right? If you're actually tired, but don't call that healing. That's retreat, because this ain't fatigue. It's spiritual gentrification we're watching. And these are spiritually gentrified people. You're not leaving because you're broken. You're leaving because our brokenness didn't fit your aesthetic anymore. And I need you to hear me clearly. We are not your inconvenience. Okay? We're not. We are your mirror. And if you truly heal, you'll still be here with us, not above us. Right? So I get it, right? This is one thing I think is absolutely true. You do not have to like every black space, but don't ever use fatigue as an excuse to stop loving the ones who never had that option to leave. Just stupid.
Bullshit. Everybody has the option. Since the moment you are born, you have the opportunity to dictate your life. Yes, black people may have it harder than most, but there's too many accounts of successful black people for you to just sit there and decide to accept your fate. There's so many successful black people out there, and you just saying, "Oh, I'm content with not being one of them. They left us. They don't give a damn about us. They ain't not trying to help us." Nigga, help yourself. How can you expect people to help you if you're not willing to help yourself? You have to be willing to help yourself. You have to be willing to do the inner work. And he's sitting here saying, "Don't say black fatigue. You just got tired of loving us." Nobody got tired. I'm speaking for myself. Right now, I'm speaking for myself. I love all black people. I am black. I'm dark as shit. But at the same time, you get a little tired of being around just that that type of black person that is just it's a bad to be around. They're loud, they're obnoxious, they don't know how to conduct themselves properly in public spaces, in private spaces. They expect society to just accept them as the way they are. This ghetto piece of work, and when it doesn't even have to be that. You know what I'm saying? How can you expect people to want to stay and live amongst you when in most cases, in most hoods, in most ghettos, these niggas is living like animals? They're living like how the rest of the world sees black people. You don't want to prove people wrong. You don't want to be better for the sake of being better for your race. And that's where it just fucking you losing me. This nigga right here is losing me because he's saying, "No, you think that you're better than us." You nigga, rightfully so. We chose to do better. We chose to put ourselves in better situations because obviously there's nothing that comes from staying in a crab in a barrel infested area. It's nothing that comes from that. And I'm a firm believer that you are what you are around. If I wake up every day and I'm living amongst people who just don't give a fuck, they're littering, they're just lounging around, walking around the street, they on every corner, they just being obnoxious, being a nuisance, making life harder for the next man that they're around. Why would you want to grow up around that? Why would you want to raise children around that? Riddle me that.
So here's the thing about what that brother just said. See, the word fatigue is more so saying I'm tired. It's not saying I don't love you anymore. It's kind of like having two kids. One kid is always bringing home good grades. The other kid is always getting phone calls called home from the teacher. You're fatigued character of that second kid. I want you to get your act together. And it's not about you guys being in the hood. It's not about people being in the hood. I still have family in the hood. And so it's not about
Facts. Still got family in the hood. Love them to death. That'll never change.
looking down upon those that are in the hood. No, I'm looking down upon the people that have bad character that is still in the hood, or the people that have bad character that's just in culture. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I moved to Georgia back in 2011, 2010, and I wasn't living in the hood, but I was around more black people than I was when I was in New York. And I realized it's a cultural thing. So it's not so much about the placement of the people, it's fixing the understanding of what being black is. For too many people, they see being black as what they see in the music videos. They follow their favorite rapper instead of looking up to their black mayor or their black lawyers in the neighborhood. Because what is publicized is our rappers, our crime. And then we rap and talk about the crime. Now somebody will say, yeah, but you know, the white man is the one that's promoting that music. Yeah, but we're the ones that's listening to that music. We don't live in a day and time where we are forced to think a certain type of way. We can wake up and say, wait a minute, I'm not going to keep playing the same game that has been getting played on me. At any moment, we can wake up and say that. But that takes a level of accountability for us to look at our fellow man and say, yo, we're not doing that over here. We're not rapping about stuff like that. Anytime I listen to a song and it's talking about killing niggas and stuff like that, I'm like, why are we talking about?
This video gonna be long as shit. I'm sorry in advance, but I'm not sorry. You know what I'm saying? This a real reaction channel. You know what I'm saying? You get the real. You get a perspective of a person who, you know what I'm saying? I agree with this video, and it pains me to say, like, you know, but it's gonna be a long video. Y'all tap in.
Hurting each other. I don't get that. Like, I see black people, I see that as we playing on the same team. So why are we sitting here talking about how we're going to steal the basketball from our teammate? Why are we talking about how we're going to tackle our teammate? Why are we sitting here talking about how we want to take out our teammate? Not saying we should try to do that to anybody else, but why? If you're gonna do it, why are you talking about doing it to people that look just like you? When I see people protesting about police brutality, and I completely get it, a lot of these situations are sad, but you know what situations are a lot sadder? The situations that I see these black brothers committing against other black brothers. Because believe it or not, that happens a lot more than police brutality, if we're gonna be honest. But as long as that crime is put on a beat, it's cool. We'll turn the blind eye to it. That's the accountability that I think black people are tired of. It's not that we're looking down on our fellow man. It's just that we're saying, get up. Stop saying that talking proper is talking white. To say talking proper is to talk white is to say that to talk black is to not talk right. Like, anytime somebody enhances their vernacular, now they're trying to talk white. Now they're whitewashed. But nobody else is saying that but us. 2 hours.
Right,
They do as that phrase actually mean. Essentially, black fatigue is a growing weariness of the actions of the quote unquote black community. But it goes deeper than that, because we are in 2025 now, and we are being judged based on the content of our character and not the color of our skin. But the interesting part is the lie that's been sold to the black community in particular is that the color of our skin dictates the content of our character. That's why in the black community, sometimes you'll hear people say, oh, you are acting white, when they're talking to someone like myself who doesn't act the way most people would expect a conventional black person to act. In their minds, there is a correct way to act black. And the people in your ethnic group who fulfill those very negative stereotypes, those are the ones who are going to essentially drag down the collective whole. And that's why there's individuals who are black who do and can have black fatigue, because they see how damaging it is to see the worst of us attract all this negative attention that then unfortunately gets ascribed to the entire race all too often. But what's unfortunate is here in 2025, now we have to contend with the fact that there's people who are so sick and tired of seeing those negative aspects, those negative individuals in the black community attracting all this attention. That's what is spurring this black fatigue.
Here's where black people really lose me, because we use our voice when it's done to us by other races, but we're extremely quiet. Actually, we're not quiet, because a lot of the black on black deaths are in songs. They're glorified. Like, it's become so common that just yesterday I'm scrolling on Instagram.
I think we in the middle. I don't want to make this video too long so we get the gist of it. But yeah, black fatigue is a real thing, especially if you are a black person. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can love your people. I say that with the deepest, like, in my heart. I feel that. Like, love your people. I love black people. Like, No matter how hard it may be, you have to. And I don't want to seem like everybody's just ripping on, or like I don't want there to be a divide amongst black people where you got some black people who are choosing better and are looking down on other black people who are essentially stuck in these. But at the same time, us as a race and our culture has to change for the better, so that we can finally put our upcoming generations in a better direction, so people can look at us in a better light. So there is no reason for other cultures to look at us as if we're the bad egg, or have to look at us with a side eye, like, oh, this person might be in the store stealing, this person might steal my car, this person might rob me, this person might start shooting up the shit. Because more times black people aren't doing that. We are fully adept and fully capable like every other race, but we have a few bad apples, and that's what the world decides. That's all black people. That's what the news portrays as all black people. That's what social media portrays as all black people. We have to do better. I love black people. If you black, you need to love black people. Put your people on. Don't tear your people down, but at the same time, you got to be willing to be put on. If you're in a shitty circumstance, don't accept that. If you grew up in a fucked up environment, don't accept that. Accept better. Accept that there is better. You know what I'm saying? You got to go chase it. It's your boy RushMoreRick. Make sure y'all like, comment, and sub if y'all love black people. That means if y'all watch this video and you don't like, and you don't comment, and you don't sub, we know who you are. We know what's your, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.